and we had 2 to 3 in those 2 days. We do have flood warnings out. These green little boxes that you see across the area, the Grand River in Comstock Park, the Grand River in Ottawa County there in Robinson Township, also the Thornapple River in Hastings there in Barry County, and the Portage River around Vicksburg there. Those are all rivers that are under flood warnings right now, which means that water is at least at or above flood stage right now. So we're talking at least a few days, handful of days for that to fall down below that. Got a few light snow showers, flakes and flurries from Milwaukee to Sheboygan. We'll have the cloud cover on this. Most of this is going to lift up to the north and east and avoid us. But just like last night, we may see a little bit of development down here. And as we go through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, especially from Grand Rapids northward, there could be some flakes, flurries, light snow showers, drizzle or freezing drizzle. That's possible south of GR2, but the better chance is going to be along and north of I-96. Temperatures are in the low 30s. Most lows won't fall below about 30 tonight. You can see that light mix possible for the morning commute tomorrow. 36 mostly cloudy at noon and up to 40 degrees tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. If you've been waiting for accumulating snow, you may not have to wait longer than this weekend. We'll talk more about a bigger system coming in, or at least the chances thereof in our main weather forecast just after 10:30, Janice.
All right, Kevin, thank you. High water levels continue to batter the lakeshore as widespread erosion takes its toll across our state.
Yeah, recently, it's created a sinkhole in Allegan County that shut down a road. That's what our Aaron Parsegian checked out today.
We're standing in the middle of Lakeshore Drive here in Saugatuck Township, which is close to all traffic for safety concerns. And for good reason. Check out this growing sinkhole in the middle of the road. Give you some perspective, this started the size of a manhole cover, and in a few days you could probably fit an entire car down there. And that sinkhole embodies a growing concern for local municipalities and how they plan on tackling the growing erosion problem.
About 10 foot across and 20 to 22 foot deep, but the important piece of that is that's changing almost daily.
Saugatuck Township leaders have their attention focused on this sinkhole, which is just feet from a crumbling Lake Michigan bluff.
With the high water levels and the erosion, that whole bluff, if you will, is just becoming unstable in certain parts, and that's why the Allegan County Road Commission, Saugatuck Township Fire District, and all the other area partners we're working together with have taken these precautionary steps.
Township Manager Griffin Graham says they're looking at just about every possible fix.
We've looked at everything from the options of working with the Army Corps of Engineers to shore protect that entire stretch, alternative repairing the road, bumping the road back, relocating the road completely, and that's where to this point we've relied a lot on the experts at the Allegan County Road Commission.
But smaller municipalities like Saugatuck need help from their neighbors. Last week, the township board adopted a resolution.
Once certified, will be sent to county, state, and federally elected officials asking for special consideration for aid requests that potentially are to come.
Graham says erosion is no new problem, and he's hoping whatever they decide to do brings a longer-lasting solution.
We're just trying to prioritize safety, and that can be tough, I think, for folks to swallow, and we don't take that lightly, and we're doing the best we can to try to keep people informed and bring stakeholders in to discuss potential solutions both in the short term and the long term.
And in the meantime, 12 homes here on this road don't have access to their mail because mail trucks can't come down here. They can't drive their cars down this road, but of course those are kind of the mild concerns. Safety is the #1 issue for the township, and that's what they say. But you know, this is not only a thing Saugatuck is dealing with. Across the lakeshore, these erosion problems continue to grow, and Mother Nature is not taking any breaks. Live in Saugatuck Township, Aaron Parsegian, Fox 17 News.
Well, in other news today, James Chance, father of convicted killer Jared Chance, has been found guilty of being an accessory after the fact in the death of Ashley Young. After 2 days of deliberations, the jury only reached a verdict on 2 of those 3 charges today. Jurors say Chance is guilty of helping his son Jared after he killed Ashley Young. You may recall the saw used in the crime was found in the home of James and his wife Barbara. However, jurors found him not guilty on the other perjury charge and couldn't reach a verdict on a second. The judge declared a mistrial on that count. It'll now be up to prosecutors to decide if they want to retry Chance on that undetermined charge.
We are disappointed, obviously, in the conviction on the lesser charge. However, we're very pleased with the jury's resolution on the higher charge of perjury, and we are prepared to retry it if necessary.
Well, the accessory after the fact charge comes with up to 5 years behind bars. You may recall James's wife Barbara pleaded no contest to the same charges. She'll be sentenced next month and likely faces a year or less in jail.
Grand Rapids police have now identified the victim of a fatal stabbing yesterday. They say they found 55-year-old Tracy Hunter with stab wounds at a home on Bate Street. His death has been ruled a homicide. Investigators say there may have been some kind of argument beforehand. A suspect is in custody tonight, but their name is being withheld pending formal charges.
Well, this man, TERRELL Tate, entered a guilty plea today related to a shooting near last Easter near downtown Grand Rapids. Today, the 33-year-old admitted guilt for intent to commit great bodily harm, carrying a concealed weapon, and felonious use of a firearm. That victim did survive, however.
The search for a teen who was swept into Lake Michigan on New Year's Day was suspended once again this morning because of the conditions. 4 different dive teams from multiple law enforcement agencies had gathered at Holland State Parks, leading a search for 16-year-old Eliza Traynor. Search efforts have been hampered by the weather so far, and once again today, those conditions just too rough to go in.
It's very disappointing because, like I said, we thought we had a window, and we tried to utilize as many resources as we could to try to get out there, and we just couldn't. It's been getting worse as the day has gone on.
Well, they say they will continue to monitor the conditions and do a thorough search as soon as possible.
Meanwhile, there will be another search party in Ottawa County tomorrow looking for 18-year-old Hunter Klompstra. He was last seen leaving a New Year's Eve party early in the morning of New Year's Day in the Coopersville area. Dive teams from Ottawa County searched the Grand River near Eastmanville on Friday. You're asked to call the Sheriff's Department or Silent Observer if you have any idea of where he may be. And deputies in Allegan County, meanwhile, asking for help in tracking down this missing woman, 28-year-old Alexa KNOOIHUIZEN, reported missing back on the 30th of December after family members say she never visited her children days earlier over Christmas. The Sheriff's Department says she is known to use drugs and may be in danger. You're asked to give them a call or Silent Observer if you see her. Well, she used her Facebook page like a diary, giving details about her son's battle with DIPG, and now she is remembering the light that little Peyton brought.
He never knew that he was dying. We always kept that from him. That was something we didn't want to tell him because his biggest fear was leaving me.
Which he has started in honor of Peyton to make sure his legacy never fades.
And people in the city of Grand Rapids who attend GRPS schools could go to GRCC free of charge. The details on that new program still to come tonight.
And the flu didn't take her life, but it took something from her that she may never get back. What her mother wants other parents to know when it comes to the flu vaccine.
You're watching Fox 17 News. You're watching Fox 17 News at 10 with Derek Francis, Janice Allen, Kevin Craig, and Jason Hutton.
It has been a month now since West Michigan said goodbye to 5-year-old Peyton Dennis, who'd been battling a rare type of brain cancer.
Today, Annie Satowski sat down with his mother and has more on the little legacy he leaves behind.
He never knew that he was dying.
Hard doesn't even begin to describe the past couple of weeks for the Dennis family.
I just take it day by day and just try to get by the best that I can.
5-year-old Peyton surpassing doctors' expectations when he was diagnosed with DIPG in February 2019, telling his mom, Katie, they'd be lucky to get just 3 more months together.
He fought really hard for the whole 9 months.
And Peyton proved to be a fighter till the very end.
The last few moments of his life, like I said, he didn't want to let go.
It was a package and note from a very special trooper, one that he'd been waiting for, that would help ease Peyton into his final moments on December 14th.
It was a t-shirt that Trooper Dane sent him. He said, "It's okay to go now, Peyton, that he's going to take your pain for you." And as soon as she said that and laid the t-shirt on his chest, Peyton stopped breathing.
MSP Trooper Dane Van Els from Westphalia is also in his own battle with the same disease that took Peyton. He's just one member of law enforcement who rallied around the little boy.
We got to go to the command center of Michigan with the state police, and the Ionia County sheriffs did stuff for him, and the sheriff posse in Michigan.
Peyton's bucket list well documented on Facebook.
It became basically my open diary, where I write down my feelings and what's going on with him, and just a way to keep everybody updated.
Among the adventures, becoming an officer for the day, making the trip to Disney World and Mackinac Island, even seeing Christmas come early when Ionia decorated just for Peyton in November.
I didn't think everybody else would decorate as early as they did or do anything special, but they did. And Peyton really had a good time this Christmas because of it. Even though he didn't make it to Christmas, he thought that he did.
It's things like that that makes the Dennis family proud and thankful for the community around them.
They've all been here to help support and cheer on Peyton and our family to get through this. And I mean, even now that Peyton's gone, they're still here for us.
Annie Satowski, Fox 17 News.
And Katie has been asked to speak at one of St. Baldrick's biggest fundraising events fighting childhood cancer this coming spring. She says it was that organization that was able to help pay for experimental treatments for Peyton. She's now started a new Facebook page called Pay It Forward, P-E-Y, a place for people to share and encourage acts of kindness in Peyton's memory.
People living in an apartment in Kalamazoo stopped an intruder overnight. It happened around 2 a.m. on Burr Oak near South Burdick Street. Residents told police they heard a noise and opened the door to find somebody there with a gun. They say the man tried to rob them and forced his way inside, but they realized his gun was fake. So they held that 18-year-old down onto the ground until police could arrive to the scene. He's now facing multiple felony charges. A man on federal probation arrested Saturday in Three Rivers. Police say he threatened somebody with a gun near Edgewater Apartments and then led police on a chase before crashing on Madison Street. We're told the police dog found meth and drug packaging in his vehicle. They say he also threw something out of the window during that chase. 41-year-old's name has not been released yet.
Well, not unlike the Kalamazoo Promise from years ago, now students in Grand Rapids Public Schools have a chance to go to college free of charge as well.
The more barriers we can take off their plate, the more opportunity they have to be successful at this thing called college.
Coming up, who's eligible for free tuition and how it's being funded.
If you've been hoping for some good old-fashioned accumulating snow, you might get your wish this weekend. This is the forecast model for 6 a.m. on Saturday. Big low pressure area, wind, a fair amount of snow, and maybe some rain mixed in. We'll look at this system tracking into and through the area coming up in just a bit.
Well, a new scholarship program announced today in Grand Rapids offering free college to students who graduate high school from GRPS.
Our Michael Martin has a look at the big impact on students and their families.
Friends, I feel like this is a historic day for us in this community.
A historic day because of what it means for students in the city of Grand Rapids.
Because of the conversation and the movement that has happened today as far as helping the students of Grand Rapids, the families of Grand Rapids, have access to higher education at a level that they've never had before.
A preliminary plan for the proposed Promise Zone scholarship was approved by board members Monday.
And Chairperson, Mother O'Neill.
Yes.
The more barriers we can take off their plate, the more opportunity they have to be successful at this thing called college.
Under the scholarship, any student who graduates from one of the 22 high schools inside city limits and who has attended at least 3 years of high school here will be eligible to have 100% tuition covered at Grand Rapids Community College, plus books and supplies. Students who spend 2 years of high school in Grand Rapids will get 50% tuition.
This is a game changer for a lot of those individuals that the cost of education, could have stymied their opportunities for growth.
Opening up the world of higher education to students who previously hadn't planned on being able to go to college.
And I've seen many of my peers struggle financially with jobs and with their families, and it's just, I did too. This is a great help, and it takes a lot of weight and pressure from going to college.
I will be able to pay bills rather than having to save up money to pay the college tuition and stuff like that, the books.
Board members say this scholarship will be available to students regardless of their citizenship status.
No matter what their status is, in this case we've heard that no matter if the family is able to qualify to apply for FAFSA or not, they're still going to be able to receive this scholarship.
The first several years of it will be funded via donations. After the 5-year mark, the district says it should be able to sustain itself.
The students who are going to be walking down that aisle in just a few months, and hopefully then will walk into the doors at GRCC come the fall.
In Grand Rapids, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
The Promise Scholarship Program still needs to be approved by the state. If you want to learn more, GRPS has set up an information line that you can call. We have that number for you at fox17online.com.
What a game changer.
Huge deal for so many people.
Sure is. Meanwhile, a new bill in Illinois could add a new piece of learning material to health classes there.
By state officials and teachers there believe sexting is an important topic to teach kids about because of the potential consequences.
Here's your Tuesday morning wake-up weather at 7 a.m. Temperatures around 30 degrees. There may be a light mix, some flakes, some flurries, some drizzle or freezing drizzle, especially from Grand Rapids northward. But then the rest of the day is quiet after that. We'll take a look at the rest of the week's forecast and a bigger storm that may be coming in Friday. That's up next.